I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Welcome to The Writing on the Wall. I'm Alan Weiss. This episode about the ill-educated. Listen to these names: Mrs. Grothausen, Mrs. Steffenauer, Mrs. Fleming, Miss Mandelkern, Mrs. Bowman, Miss Baratini, Mrs. Lippert, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Heitman. Some of you know who I just named. I named my grammar school teachers. A lot of you can name your grammar school teachers, every one of them, from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But we can't name all our high school teachers. We can't name our college professors. Education has changed. We're dumbing down. We can't be caught in that whirlpool. The educational system is failing. The coming conflict is going to be a class conflict. This is increasingly a knowledge economy. You can't retrain people from blue-collar jobs to do highly sophisticated knowledge transfer jobs. I'm talking about our kids for the future. How do we make sure they get the right education? SAT scores are dropping, SAT scores are dropping, and the schools blame the parents, or they blame the environment, or they blame poor discipline. But what about the teachers? The teachers' unions are killing us. Every initiative by a teachers' union is for the union, not for the betterment of the customer, not for the benefit of the audience. The customer and the audience, those are our kids. Americans on the phone, in call centers, don't speak English as well as people in India on the phone in the call centers. There's something drastically wrong with that. I said to somebody, a woman executive director of a trade association, please don't engage in these kinds of histrionics. She was involved with film festivals. I thought histrionics was a clever word to use because it has to do with acting. She said, I regard that as sexist. I said, sexist? She thought I was meaning hysterics. Histrionics, hysterics, two different words. The dumbing down of America. We hear people talk now about gone missing, went missing. We hear all kinds of abominations on the media. Yet the homeschooled win in spelling competitions. The homeschooled win in a lot of academic competitions. How can that be if the fault is the parents or the fault is the society? Teachers need to be paid by results, no less so than managers need to be paid by results. How can you increase someone's salary when the people in their classroom are not doing as well on testing? Where do we put an end to this vicious cycle? The poorly educated are teaching others. We can't allow that. We need to look at our classrooms like we look at performance all around us. We need to pay excellence. We need to reward excellence. But we also need to weed out incompetence. We take more time choosing a vet for our animals, choosing a CPA for our taxes, than we do looking at teachers and schools for our kids. And this coming class conflict that I talk about is going to become worse and worse because those who can afford it will send their kids to the better schools or the private schools with the best teachers. The best teachers should be paid the most to work in the inner city schools, to work with the economically disadvantaged. The system's topsy-turvy. When will we have the leadership, the political insight, the political courage to break this vicious cycle? Where is Mrs. Grothausen when we need her? Well, Koufax is waiting for me. Thanks for being with me. This is Alan Weiss and The Writing on the Wall. Koufax, come on, Koufax. Let's go, Koufax. Come on, Koufax. Good boy.